Welcome back to RV News, your trusted source for everything related to global currency movements, foreign exchange trends, and the latest updates in the revaluation space. If you're holding IQD or VND, or simply following the incredible story of how these currencies are reshaping global financial conversations, you're going to want to sit through this entire video. Today, we're diving into massive breaking news. The Iraqi Dinar and Vietnamese Dong have just hit all-time highs on the Forex markets. This is a moment that so many of us in the currency community have been anticipating for years. What does this mean for holders? Is this the long-awaited beginning of the revaluation process, or is this just the first wave of a much larger financial transformation? We'll explore all of that and more right here on RV News. So, let's get into what's happening. Over the last 24 hours, currency traders across the globe witnessed something truly historic, a sharp surge in both the Iraqi Dinar, IQD, and the Vietnamese Dong, VND, with their respective values climbing to record levels against the US dollar and other major world currencies. For IQD, the appreciation has been the strongest since the early 2000s, surpassing even optimistic projections from earlier this year. The dinar, long held as undervalued due to Iraq's economic challenges and political instability, is now showing undeniable signs of aggressive repositioning on the global stage. Meanwhile, the Vietnamese Dong, often seen as a sleeper currency in the Forex world, has experienced a massive upward revaluation, surprising even the most conservative financial analysts. Now, what exactly triggered this sudden rise? Let's start with Iraq. In recent weeks, the Central Bank of Iraq has taken major steps toward economic reform and monetary independence. After years of operating under constraints imposed by international oversight and internal economic strife, the CBI appears to be pushing forward with a bold currency strategy. There's increasing evidence that Iraq has begun de-dollarizing certain sectors of its economy, reducing reliance on USD transactions and building its foreign currency reserves, particularly in gold and other basket currencies. Coupled with reports of new oil contracts being settled in dinar, this move signals a strong confidence in the future strength of the Iraqi currency. Forex markets, always keen to detect change, reacted quickly to these indicators. As investor sentiment shifted, demand for IQD surged. At the same time, Vietnam has also made notable strides. The State Bank of Vietnam recently announced a series of monetary policies aimed at strengthening the dong, including interest rate adjustments, tightened control over currency exchange flows, and a push for increased foreign direct investment. On top of that, Vietnam's rapidly growing export economy, particularly in electronics, textiles, and agricultural products, is fueling demand for the dong internationally. This demand pressure, along with increased remittances from the Vietnamese diaspora and greater transparency in currency markets, has led to the dong reaching a historical peak. For the first time in years, both the IQD and VND are being regarded not just as speculative plays, but as emerging currency powers. For those in the RV community, this is the kind of moment that years of patience, research, and faith have been building toward. Many have believed that the revaluation, the RV, of these currencies would happen not just because of internal policies, but because of a global financial reset that would level the playing field. Seeing these two currencies hit new highs in tandem lends significant weight to the theory that there is a coordinated global effort underway. While governments and central banks rarely confirm such coordinated plans outright, we are now witnessing tangible proof on the open Forex markets that the tides are shifting. This isn't just speculation anymore. The numbers are visible. The charts are undeniable. Now, let's talk numbers. According to real-time Forex data analyzed over the past 48 hours, the Iraqi Dinar saw an appreciation of over 12%, its most aggressive single-week surge in recent memory. This has placed its current market value at a threshold that many analysts once considered unreachable without formal redenomination or legislative intervention. On the Vietnamese side, the Dong has climbed more than 8% in under 72 hours, reaching parity levels that haven't been seen since the pre-Asian financial crisis era of the late 1990s. These are monumental moves, and they're attracting the attention of major institutional investors, hedge funds, and high-net-worth individuals who had previously stayed on the sidelines. So what are the major banks saying about this? Interestingly, financial institutions like HSBC, JP Chase, and even Deutsche Bank have issued updated Forex advisories in response to these developments. HSBC's recent report described the movement in IQD and VND as technically significant and potentially long-term. JP Morgan hinted that this could be the start of a broader currency realignment, while Deutsche Bank suggested that the current surge in dinar and dong value could lead to stronger bilateral trade agreements between their respective countries and Western allies. In short, the big players are no longer ignoring IQD and VND. They're watching closely. As the currencies rise, so does speculation about exchange protocols and redemption procedures. For months, there's been talk of so-called redemption centers and pre-scheduled appointments for currency holders. These ideas, once dismissed as fringe or conspiratorial, are now being taken more seriously. With the Forex markets reflecting real movement, insiders suggest that private exchange opportunities could begin appearing within days, particularly for those holding large denominations of IQD and VND. In fact, some sources close to currency brokers report that internal memos have been circulating, advising clients to prepare documentation, ensure identification is in order, and be ready for sudden instructions from designated financial institutions. One of the biggest questions people are asking right now is this the start of the RV? And the answer, though cautiously optimistic, is this: we are closer than we have ever been before. For years, the idea of an RV was based on speculation, geopolitics, and indirect signals. But this is market activity. This is capital moving. This is global financial systems reacting in real time. While an official flip-of-the-switch revaluation announcement hasn't yet been made by the Central Bank of Iraq or Vietnam, the market is behaving as though that moment is imminent. This could be the first phase of a tiered revaluation, a strategy that allows central banks to slowly adjust values upward in a controlled, managed fashion. Now let's look at the potential impact for currency holders. If you've been holding IQD or VND for months or years, this might be your window. With exchange values rising, you may soon be able to convert your holdings at rates far more favorable than ever before, even if it's not yet the full contract rate some have talked about. Depending on how the revaluation unfolds, early holders who exchanged during the first wave could potentially see significant returns, especially if private exchange tiers become active. That said, caution is still key. With high volatility comes risk. Not every dealer or broker will offer the same terms, and there are always those looking to exploit moments of transition. Stay informed, stay connected to verified sources, and make sure your exchange process is both legal and secure. And let's not forget the geopolitical angle here. The rising value of the dinar and dong also comes at a time when global powers are reassessing economic alliances. The BRICS nations are increasingly pushing for de-dollarization, and both Iraq and Vietnam are positioning themselves strategically. Iraq, with its vast oil reserves, is looking to diversify its trade relationships, potentially moving closer to BRICS-friendly economic models. Vietnam, on the other hand, is becoming a critical manufacturing hub in Asia, rivaling even China. In certain sectors, with these nations stepping up their monetary policies and taking stronger control of their currencies, we may very well be witnessing a paradigm shift in the global financial structure. Meanwhile, the IMF and World Bank have been eerily silent on this latest surge, perhaps strategically so. Some experts believe that their silence signals an internal alignment with broader revaluation efforts. After all, both institutions have long advocated for fair currency valuations and transparency, and as these currencies rise, so too do discussions around special drawing rights, SDRs, and the potential for new basket currencies to be used in global trade. Don't be surprised if we start hearing more about digital asset integration and central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, in relation to these moves. There's a bigger game at play, and it's all unfolding right now. In conclusion, this moment is historic. The IQD and VND reaching all-time highs is not just a Forex story, it's a signal, a call to action, a validation for those who believed, who held, and who waited. Whether you're someone who holds a modest amount or a significant investment in these currencies, this is your time to pay close attention. Review your plans. Consider your exit strategies. Make sure you are ready for what comes next. Because if current trends continue, and all signs suggest they will, we may be heading into one of the most extraordinary financial moments of our